What's that you say? You're here at Crowdfunding Countdown to see every single board game campaign leaving crowdfunding this week? Well, what a coincidence! So am I! Thank you for joining the week. I'll try to remember to say this great poem at the end of the episode. Keep the people wanting more. But this is a big week. This is actually a pretty big week. This marks the week of a bunch of campaigns that I've actually played. Maybe the most campaigns in a week that I've had the pleasure of playing and trying out. And that's great because it means I don't have to read the rulebook for them because I already have. What a glorious day! I'm filming this a little bit earlier because I had everything set up for the R&R show over on Rahdo's channel, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to just film it now because I have an evening off. So what better way to fill that evening than to spend time with you all? But first, Artie has a huge shout out to my newest patron, Kimanuelant. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but thanks for jumping on board. I saw you at the R&R stream, and I appreciate it. And Artie was so excited that he wanted to come see you, and only you. And he's going to stay here the whole episode, I swear. Oh no, I can't make that promise. He does whatever he wants, and we just have to live with it. But thank you so much for jumping on board, supporting the channel. If anybody else jumps on in between, you're going to get your shout out next week, just because I'm filming this again a little bit early. But just know that I am forever grateful to all of my patrons, and I do get your name tattooed somewhere on my body. That would be indecent of me to show on camera. Just know, it's there, and I am running vastly out of room regardless of how many cheeseburgers I eat. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Good problem to have. Let's check out the week. We got a good week this week. Definitely, I already know my pick for me and my pick for you. I think. I don't know. Actually, there's going to be some competition. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'll be surprised. Starting us off this week is a game I know nothing about. Vedur. It's Vedur. Vedur. That's probably it. Action selection deck building board game for 2 to 4 players, 2 game variants, basic and advanced. Okay, so 1 game and then a baby game. Inspired by the Icelandic weather. That is a theme that I can honestly say I haven't seen before. Uh-oh, though. 72 backers who have spent $5,000 on it. Almost $100 each. I don't know. Let's see if it's any good. I see. It's Vedur for weather. Is that how I just learned how to speak Icelandic? I think I might have. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show in Icelandic. Is that offensive? I don't think so. I like that they have more information about their other games, but no rulebook for this one. Actually, our newest patron had a great question over on the R&R stream, which is, which would you prefer in a this or that? A campaign with no rulebook, but shipping information, as this one seems to be, or a game with no shipping information and a rulebook. And I want both. It was a very difficult decision for me. Which one would you pick? I'm curious. I can see the argument for both. I ended up wanting the rulebook to be prioritized for me. It doesn't look like this rulebook is being prioritized. And I don't quite see how they got all the money they've got when you actually add up their backer numbers. It says they have 5,756, and it looks like they only have 2,787 in actual pledges collected, which means that somebody is being very nice and making someone's dream come true, I suppose. This seems like an odd sort of game, though. You're deck building and you're predicting the weather as Sears, and in order to predict the weather, it's just the most people to put things on a specific weather spot. Predict that weather. The weather comes true. If enough people believe in something, then it automatically becomes true. That's what happens, right? As long as everybody predicts that something is going to happen, it will happen. And you don't have to worry about anything else happening because you believe in what you believe, and everyone around you believes in what you believe, so why expand your mind and think of anything different? It's not raining. I swear it's not raining. We believe that it isn't raining, so it's not raining. And so it's basically action selection of like drawing and gaining cards and using those cards to predict the weather and get the most points. It doesn't seem bad. And it's $26 US, 35 Canadian plus shipping, which is like 12 to 19. So like if you're in the UK or in the US, $38, that's actually not horrible for a little light deck builder. But the problem is that you don't have a full rule book. So you give me the sketch and you say kind of what the actions are, but they're so close. It's almost clickable. But, you know, it seems okay. This might be interesting, but it also just might be, hey, let's just go over here and predict this weather and screw that guy over there. So I don't know if I'm super into that. Anyway, check that out if you want. That finishes Wednesday, April 26th at 8:03 a.m. Moving along to the big one, Zombicide White Death. It's only at 1.9 million. I don't know if that's good for a Zombicide. Now, I kind of wish I was delaying this, but I'm happy for, maybe me being able to take an hour off on the weekend by doing this now. But we won't get to see all of the stretch goals because I feel like you should really tune into Zombicide like the day before it's ending to see everything that's unlocking, because those are the most exciting points. But those are also the times where I'm feeling, ooh, I'm gonna get swept up in the FOMO and just kind of go for it. So let's look over what's happened on Zombicide. I've covered Zombicide a lot already on this channel. I covered some of the differences between this and Black Plague. I've covered my own 5 reasons you shouldn't back this, and now we'll just talk about it. 110, I like to see. Marvel Zombies was 130. My biggest issue with this is the corruption mechanic, and I don't know how that's going to be addressed or fixed, or maybe even I might have been playing wrong, but I don't think so, since 2 of us read through the rulebook before doing our play, both myself and Shira, although Shira read it much more detailed than I did, and I just kind of skimmed over the pertinent parts. Anyway, here are the stretch goals. This is what's worth covering when it comes to Come On. Currently 36 new survivors, but again, the survivors, I used to think that the survivors meant a lot of variability, but they don't. The abominations make a decent amount of variability. These do look cool. And this is the reason why you do get a Zombicide at a Kickstarter level, right? You get 2, 3, 4, 7, 10, 11 abominations currently, and these update packs. That feels pretty fun. Oh, and some more survivors and some more zombies. Who cares? You can also inexplicably add Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to your Zombicide pledge because, sure, they're basically like, oh, people like the Great Wall, let's make a Zombicide about that. You want some turtles? I like turtles. Well, make a Zombicide about that. 7 survivors, 15-foot ninjas, 1 necromancer. This sounds like a horrible value. It's just because it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that people are interested in it. You want your survivors to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Just paint them that way. Eternal Empire, another pack of Zombicide, and I'm not necessarily against adding stuff to your Zombicide. Zach has a whole bunch and knows how to mix and match, but that's the key, is that you're going to be mixing and matching, right? It doesn't actually support having everything in there, because then it makes it very easy as the card deck becomes bigger and bigger and you have less of the same people coming out, and therefore less of a chance to run out and have that extra activation, which is actually pretty important. The Warlords of Rising Sun. Yes, of course, I'd be interested in that. Oh, here we go. Of course, it's $32 for 3D battlements. Just cut out some cardboard and call it a day. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous price for something that I wish was a stretch goal. That should be a stretch goal, let's be honest. I do love that the rulebook is here halfway down the page. I mean, just bigger pictures of the things that you can buy, because if you didn't purchase it once, you might as well purchase it the second time as you scroll through. There's the battlements again. Oof, good thing. And then shipping will be $33 to $44 US. In Canada, it's $48 to $62. So it's not a $110 game. For me, it's like over $200, right? Just for that base pledge. And then that comparison starts to become a little bit more nebulous, right? Are you going to pay an extra $100 for all of those additional things? You are getting a bunch with the abominations. I think the abominations are a good deal. But some Come On campaigns feel like they're blowing you away with value. Massive Darkness 2 is kind of one of those. And this one feels like kind of a standard amount of value. I'm personally not impressed enough to pull the trigger, and I was contemplating pulling the trigger because I thought, oh, it might be nice to get a Zombicide Kickstarter, because I've forgotten that I got the Cthulhu Death May Die Kickstarter, and of course I just need another large Come On campaign. But if that interests you, well, that finishes Wednesday, April 26th at 9 p.m. I don't think the value is necessarily here, but the theme is fun. I think the corruption mechanic needs to be tweaked, honestly, because I feel like it can just run and get out of control and you can't reach the Necromancer in time. So, I don't know. Zombicide's a fun system, but I am much more interested in getting Elder Scrolls for a similar price point, right? Like for me, Elder Scrolls is $195. This is $110 plus $60 shipping. We're sitting at like $170. I would much rather get the Elder Scrolls over Zombicide, personally. Anyway, let's move on to Chemical Overload. Toxin levels are rising in this 1-4 player unique twist on deck building where experimentation is key to becoming the master alchemist. Kind of sounds like my college years, where experimentation was key. Alright, seems pretty simple. You're completing contracts to get points. That's pretty much. I do really love the theme of this, though, where everyone's brewing potions as the toxin levels in the lab is rising and rising. And clearly you're so stressed about building the ultimate potion, or brewing the ultimate potion, that you have to put yourself in mortal danger huffing those fumes to really get inspired and create the best potion before it's too late. I don't know how exciting it's going to be, though. There's just basically 3 colors, and you want to get enough of those colors to make the thing. Nah, see, this is where your rulebook should go. Oh, come on. There we go. Rulebook, 3/4 down. They couldn't have put somebody like Maggie on the cover. That's how you get the people talking. Let me tell you, Chemical Overload. Oh, I see it. It's just the outer thing to determine if it's been a toxin. I was like, where's the icon? That's not an icon. That's a stain. All right, it's pretty simple. Basically, you are going to have to manage getting ingredients, which will then purchase potions. The potions are random. They require different numbers of the different colors of potions, as we all know. The way to make beautiful potions is just by mixing colors together. That's it. And you need to have a flask. That's the only thing that's really different about this, is that in order to brew a potion, you also need to have the flask, which you can store up here in a specific type of flask. You need specific type of flasks to brew the correct potion. And then when you have the potion, that also will have an ability, because that'll get shuffled into your deck. The unique part here is that whatever you gain goes on the top of your deck. That's kind of the selling point here that makes it stand out from amongst the crowd. It gives you that immediate return on your investment. You get to use your thing right away. And I can see how that would be interesting. Other than that, it just feels pretty basic. The toxin level, I mean, it just acts as a timer of the game, right? It's a funny theme, but it doesn't actually have any real impact on anything. But, you know, seems pretty fun. Would definitely play it. $45 US, that's not too bad. I mean, it's actually 62 because to get it to the US, 72 US to get it to Canada, which is like almost 90. Absolutely not for such a very basic deck builder. But I don't know, if that excites you, it's just crossed its funding goal. I'm thrilled that it has. Seems like a very simple, streamlined deck builder. If that's your thing, check it out. That finishes Thursday, April 27th at 9:02 a.m. Moving along to Nuns with Nunchucks and Other Controversial Combatants, a battle card game where you try to take over the world with an army of hilarious combatants. I mean, this feels like it could be a 2-player head-to-head card game and a funny card game. Is it my birthday? I don't know, but we're going to see just how completely awful this really is. I take it back. No, I need more of that. Why are you not giving me this as the entire video? I want this image to be the entire video. Don't cut to the game whatsoever. See, this is what the people want to see. That's what the people want to see. Just wailing on this poor nun with a nunchuck in what is clearly a take that fest. I mean, I think you would be better served to go get those costumes and go out into a field and fight with Abraham Lincoln, the nun, a Tyrannosaurus, and you know what? Just a trucker. Nothing special. Just someone with a trucker hat wearing camo. And then a lovely heartfelt message from the creator to finish the video off. Let's see what this is. This game ruins friendships. Well, I think we know what type of game this is. It's going to be a take that fest. But $20, you know what? That seems like the correct price. Play a card, use its ability, don't get hit 15 times. But it does have the rules. Honestly, I don't feel like I need to check it out, but we will, as always, because you gotta. More pages. This has more pages than than that potion deck building game. All right, I actually kind of like this. As a battle, you have your 3 cards face up. These are the on-deck cards, and you can use one of them. Unless you can combo them into other things, then you can use another one. But really, it's just a bunch of take that, because you're assigning attack points to somebody, so you're ganging up on people around the table. Not that that's a bad thing. You can do that in coup as well. They're like, yeah, look at these combos. Really, the combos are just if there's an additional play a turn symbol. I mean, there you go. Cute art, whatever. It's $20. I do love this though. Honestly, this is the way to my heart. Shipping sucks. I know it. You know it. The shipping companies know it. It's just a fact of life at this point. Way to go, Nuns with Nunchucks. Love ya. $6 though to the US. That's pretty good. 26 if you want a quick take that card game. You're not going to get it if you're anywhere else, let's be honest, other than the US. So check that out. The finish is Thursday, April 27th at 9:30 a.m. I want to give you the funny card game air horn, but it's really just a big take that card game. It's none of them. It's not a two-player head-to-head card game because you can play up to 4, and it's not a funny card game because you don't just laugh at the funny cards and you do other things. So really, probably a letdown on both of those fronts. Moving along to Nova Roma. Nova Roma, this is where we're going to have our giveaway at the end of the episode. We're going to announce who won the giveaway, and I'm going to film that when I'm editing this later on so that people have a little bit more time to enter. If you missed the giveaway, a lovely patron of mine said, hey, this game looks amazing. I want more people to play it. And so they said, I'm going to buy somebody a copy. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to give you a copy of Nova Roma. And it looks good. It's a game by Stan Kordonsky, who did Endless Winter and Resurgence and Lockup. The crux of the game here comes, I'm not going to go over it too much, because if you saw the giveaway, I'd just be repeating myself. I did sort of a mini breakdown of what it is already, but you're going to have this crisscross action pattern, which somebody in the comments did remind me, it's Pest. I was thinking of Pest did this, which we covered again in Crowdfunding Countdown, because you know what? We cover everything. But wherever you put your little meeple, you get to take those two actions of the cross section, and then if you add to that line or column, you then get to take additional strength in those actions, which is pretty cool. Lots of great stuff going on here. $59 is honestly decent for I think what you're getting here. 59, it's 79 Canadian. So after shipping, let's go right to it. To Canada, it's a bit more expensive, but to the US, not bad, like 67. I think that's all right. However, if you were backing something, hoping that it came later so you had time to get through your deluge of games, this is not the one to do because it's going to be delivering this year. That's what they're claiming. They're also giving you a shipping subsidy here with $10. I think these are upgraded, but I don't know if they're necessarily just upgraded for this Kickstarter edition, right? I don't think there's going to be much difference between this and the retail one. That is if it goes to retail. Resurgence Kickstarter edition, $99, $100 Canadian, and it's sold out. So there you go. Because this is through Half Kingdom Games, which is Stan's own studio, I think it's going to be a smaller run, and therefore you may not be able to get it at that many places. FOMO, watch out! Get this now! There's no such thing as another Euro game. You'll never play another Euro game again if you don't get this one right now. Yeah, I think this looks fun, but I also think that you could just get Endless Winter and probably have a comparable time, because it's that sort of do everything for points. And so I think this looks good, but I also don't know if I need it personally, because I do have other Euros that do the similar thing. However, mechanically it looks really good. So check this one out. Definitely interesting and exciting. That finishes Thursday, April 27th at 10:59 a.m. Moving along to probably the best title this week, and the reason why I'm clicked on it, Cozy, Juicy, Real. And yes, you have to say it like that when you're describing the game. If you don't, they'll arrest you. It's the law. Deeper connections disguised as a board game. Okay, we know what this is. Are we just going to ask each other questions and laugh? Is it possible to reliably create awesome conversations that make people feel connected, seen, and alive? Should have given this game to my grandfather when he kept on asking me about the weather. If you could open a door to anywhere, where would you choose to go and why? Over the past year, what's something big or small that you feel proud of? What's something beautiful in your life right now, and what about it are you appreciating? It's actually quite lovely. Those questions are quite lovely. This might be one of the best style of these games that I've seen because... Oh, no, I take it back. Random! With a group activity. Everybody do your best evil laugh! I take it back. I mean, it's fine, but don't they know that board gamers, we play games to sit in silence and look at our own little puzzle and not interact with each other? So we can pretend that we've seen people and had a social activity when really we've just done a solitaire activity by ourselves and then said, ha, my solitaire activity was more efficient than yours. Thanks for the evening. See you next week. Don't they know that's what we're into? Anyway, if you feel like not doing that, check it out. That's Thursday, April 27th at 12:58 p.m. Moving along to Mr. Meeple, Board Game T-Shirts Season 6. Mr. Meeple's back, and if you were looking for stuff for real board game geeks, check it out. If you're a fake, phony board game geek, well, don't look at this. But if you're a real geek, you're going to get our merch, and you're going to get it right now. That's nice, though. They do print on the cloth, which is huge, and why I have to change my own sort of room and board store. I really like the customer service over at Teespring, but even on like their highest quality, I find the stuff's been sort of running off. So I got to find a new printer to do that. Maybe Mr. Meeple can hook me up. Here are the new designs. Follow the leader. That's kind of cute. Love meeples, hate minis. That just seems aggressive. Love minis, hate meeples. It worked for politics. Get people on one side of an issue, and you'll have customers for life. Meadow Meeple Adventurer. Oh, that's kind of a cute one. I like that a lot. Cats playing board games. Pfft, that would never interest me. I'm a dog person. Yeah, you sleep, Artie. 19 euros for one shirt. That's okay. It's like 20 bucks a shirt. I mean, if you want to get a shirt for 17 point something, well then feel free to use code Slippery Jim at Into the AM, right? Get one of these shirts. But decent. I mean, I hope the quality's good. If somebody out there has had a Mr. Meeple shirt, let me know. Drop it down in the comments because I'm curious. I would potentially get one if it was decent quality, but I don't often just get things on a whim because I don't know how the quality is going to be. But I've enjoyed this stuff. I like looking at board game stuff, and they've been doing it for a very long time. So I like people having geeky things. I also like having a nice, calm, easy, basic tea for 10% off at Into the AM. Okay, honestly, they've gotten way too much. No, I'm not even mad. I'm not mad about it. I would be giving them this free advertising anyway. Well, I probably wouldn't, but I really do like the quality of these shirts. I hope these Mr. Meeple shirts are equally good, in which case I would talk about it equally as much. €6 for shipping. Yeah, 30 bucks for a high quality shirt. It's got a fun art design on it. Anyway, there's your shout out, Mr. Meeple. That finishes Thursday, April 27th at 1:05 p.m. if you're interested. Moving along to Drawing Swords, The Game of You, and How to Do Anything. Title of my sex tape. 3 unique and hilarious party games from the makers of Cheer Up and Swearmints. That sounds like a funny card game if I ever heard one. And I'm sorry. When your video starts out with the question, what is fun? What is fun? The Webster's Dictionary defines fun as, well, I don't even know what it... Alexa, define fun. I don't need any more, Alexa. That was very nice. Is this going to provide me with mirth? I'm fairly certain the campaign will. I really love that they're taking credit for the discovery of fun, it feels, in this. They're like, hey, remember when you had fun? You could have fun again. We have the solution to finding how to have fun once more. I know you haven't had fun ever since that horrible barbecue that went wrong when someone released all those bees, but you could find that. You could find that again. I don't quite know what to make about this game. Drawing Swords, you have a picture of a penis on your card, and you have to draw something over that penis and turn it into something else. It might as well be Graffiti the Musical, because penises are weird. I think that's the joke, right? Is that the joke? I think that's the joke. To be fair, can I cast shade at penis jokes when I did a title of your sex tape joke leading into this bit? I don't know. I think I can. Honestly, probably the most creative of these sorts of funny card games. That's right, funny card game number 1. Let's go on to number 2. What's behind penis number 2? Okay, now this one feels targeted. You get a silly nickname, and those nicknames are adding something to the beginning of your name. And I don't know if they knew that I would look at this. I'm going to assume that the world revolves around me, since this is the game of you, and assume the nasty Chris they're talking about is right here. And then you have to say, with these kind of cards on them, which have some little text on them, who is Nasty Chris? Well, is it my comic book villain identity, the unusual sandwich that's named after me, or me being mean to people just trying to make their dreams come true on Kickstarter? Who can tell? And this is just snake oil. How to do anything is how to make friends. You got a bunch of zany prompts and you got to say, well, how can I make these make sense? Kind of like me looking at any campaign page every week on Crowdfunding Countdown. How can I make these make sense? How can I do it? Yeah, if you like snake oil, check this one out. Honestly, these all seem like pretty decent ideas, but they all seem like they would be better suited to being in the Jackbox Party Pack. If you don't know the Jackbox Party Pack, that's actually a really solid party game. You play on your phone, everybody sends in prompts. That's what I would get if any of these interest you, honestly, because it doesn't feel like it's something that you want to purchase for 25 bucks and have and use once. You want to have an electronic version that's a collection, and it's more for party game atmosphere anyway. But hey, they've funded. They've over 200% funded. I'm sorry. And there's a bonus game called Where's Baby Devil? I take it all back. I take it all back. This is the campaign. This is the pick for me and the pick for you. Show over. Where's Baby Devil? Oh, a devious one-card micro game that you can play at any party, free for all backers. Guaranteed, you just put it in someone's pocket and then you go around the whole party saying, have you seen Baby Devil? Who's the babiest devil of them all? Who's the devilest baby of them all? I'm obsessed with this. Secret surprise, bonus game. Tell me, I need to know how to play Where's Baby Devil? Yes, Nasty Chris wants to know. You know who's more likely to have the nickname Nasty Chris? This guy from allplay.com. Which, oh no, is the TikTok down? Oh, that's the worst. I was waiting for another all play because I was so excited. This when we went to it, because we, over on the Discord, we like to check in on our supervillain almost daily. But when we went to it previously, just a TikTok came up of him laughing. That's all it was. It was him looking at the screen and laughing and mocking Allplay for choosing to change their name to Allplay without securing the domain first that he has in his supervillain hands. Oh, Nasty Chris, that's who you are. I think we know his name. 100% that's Nasty Chris until we find his real name. Oh, he changes.
Hi.
Oh.
A video call, if we can come to some kind of, mutual understanding, what would be a fair amount or some kind of an arrangement allows you to utilize the site name immediately, us to feel compensated appropriately, whether it be through a single one-time purchase, which is ideal, or maybe a structured arrangement that might span multiple quarters. And if that can be achieved, then we can immediately transfer the site name to you, and you can remit the payment the following day or start into some kind of payment structure. All right, thank you so much.
Nasty Chris is so polite. I was shocked the century. I was just expecting laughter. That was actually just like a calm statement saying, hey, yeah, I know it's projected that you're going to give me $250,000 because I thought of purchasing this site first, but if you want it, I have it, and I will be paid. And I don't have to make threats because you're going to come and you're going to pay what I want, or else Nasty Chris is going to get his. I feel so connected, and I feel scared. I feel like the power that this man has over me, the fact that he could just come into my house and talk to me, I feel like he's here in this room right now, and I am shook. I am shook for the remainder of the episode. Oh, Nasty Chris. Oh, it's so good to see you. I hope your name is Chris. It can't be. He has too much power to be a Chris. He's got too much power to be a Chris. But maybe. Okay. No. Who's got Baby Devil? Nasty Chris. Every damn day. Okay, you can't tell me this awesome, what a ridiculous game. Honestly, a funny concept. Oh, that's a good one. Fallius Caesar. Julius Caesar. I don't know why I said phallus. Now that's a table. See, you know what? The Cardboard Alchemy and the Andromeda's Edge team could learn a thing or two from this instructive chart. More useful than what was on Cardboard Alchemy's page. US, $8. I don't know why. Why am I looking at shipping? Come on. What a letdown. Where are the rules to Where's Baby Devil? Where is Baby Devil? I guess I might have to purchase this game to find out. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure Baby Devil's in one of your pockets. And no, I'm not hitting on you, okay? Alright, let's move on. Over to Game Found, the only Game Found thing that is worth covering this week, and we have Thorgal, the board game. It's a cooperative storybook adventure game for 1 to 4 players, in which players take on the roles of Thorgal, his wife Aritzia, I think it's Aritzia, their son Jolin, and Chris, a deadly female warrior. Yeah, you friggin' bet I am. And go on a series of adventures. Sounds like anyone who's not Chris in this scenario. This deadly female warrior might be the second scariest nasty Chris that we've seen today. Thorgal. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not for me, I can already tell, but maybe it's for you. Let's see what other things it has. 7 standalone scenarios, each taking 90 to 120 minutes. Scenarios do not form a campaign, nor do they have any legacy features, so each can be played by different playgroups repeatedly over an extended period of time, but it's a story-driven adventure, so once you know the story, you just read the story again? I mean, I guess you read books again. I don't know. Calling it a story-driven adventure feels great because it feels like there's this whole polyomino puzzle that I'm very interested about. Getting these little pieces of polyomino and filling out your board and leveling up. No, I don't want to check it out in Polish. I'd like to stay. You decide. Choose your next stretch goal. I was so confused by this. Should we follow Muff and find your son that has been trapped in a hole? Or should we go check out this very capable person who's got his leg under a tree? He seems completely fine, and yet that's clearly the better option of content that you get. Let's move on to Gwyneth Paltrow's head section. Sorry, what's in the box section. Nasty Chris of Valnor. Okay. Aritzia, Gandalf's daughter. Company. I don't even know what that means. Okay, rulebook and gameplay highlights. Good job giving me the rulebook instead of the gameplay highlights first. Actually, I don't honestly care about that order. I just care about when it happens. Great, I love this. It's not a choose-your-own-adventure game. That's cool. That's important. That makes me more excited. It's about picking the right actions within a limited number of rounds. It's not experience points after all. It's, this graphic shows it better. It's your wounds. It's your wounds. Oh, that's all right. These little tokens represent enemies. Any sort of the dashes on them will show if there are enemies at a location that you have to resolve before you do anything there. Cool. I already like this. You can already kind of see the structure, right? Every card is going to have these different event icons, and depending upon the scenario, they're going to change what they do. And so that's how you can keep, in terms of a design philosophy, you can keep this sort of an event deck small and still have variable things to happen based on the setup. I like that. I like that a lot. This is why a rulebook is so helpful, right? This is why you check things out. No way was I getting any gameplay from this sort of stuff. Right? It's flowing systems, it's cool art. It's like, hey, you get to do actions. You get polyomino stuff. There's story. There's lots of things to change. Whoa, have fun, right? Like that actually it tells us really nothing when it comes down to it. When you look through here and you pick out the things that actually interest you, now I'm actually starting to get interested about the game. I think it's weird that this is the wound area, though, and you do cover-up slots with your polyominoes to indicate you've taken wounds. Yes, this large gaping hole. Let's put something over it, and then you can start to feel the pain. I do like this in terms of how you do take the wounds, though, that sometimes it might be an exact shape. Sometimes it might just be a number, in which case you can pick the shape. But even here, this seems like a horrible decision to put your wounds there. You're never going to take one wound. Put it over here. What are they doing? All of your actions are going to be laid out, and depending on where you put your action tokens, you might get bonuses. So here, this little symbol means like, hey, any action tokens to the left of that, or that's the left. Yeah, that way. Any tokens that way, well, you're going to get a bonus. But over here in the center, anything with just one under this, then you get that bonus, right? You get the extra action. The journeying, that was the other usage of the polyomino that we were talking about earlier. You just cover things up, you get the thing. That's not that complicated. Oh, you can also collect. The collect and journey feel the same thing. Why would you ever just collect? Journey, you get stuff. Collect, you get stuff. And then when you place things on a spot, you're then going to read the area. Okay, let's look at combat. And so it's all about these polyominoes, right? You're going to roll the dice, you're going to fight these people, and you're going to try to slot and cover up all their heart points. And if you do, you win, and you can play this side thing of, yeah, I want to use these other wasted time to cover these things and get additional bonuses, but then you might get hurt by the enemies. That's kind of a neat little polyomino. It's all sort of polyomino. I'm surprised it's not like billing itself as that. But the polyomino placement is kind of core to pretty much everything that I've seen so far. So yeah, you do your actions, then there's the event phase, you draw a card, you do what it says. Deal with it, complete the scenario, or don't. It seems neat. It also seems like, I guess it's 85 euros, which is 130 Canadian. That feels way too much. Oh, that's horrible. Everybody needs to move to Poland because there's too many companies that operate out of Poland. Shipping to Poland, 5 euros. Shipping anywhere else, like, I didn't know Command was running this Kickstarter, but apparently they are. This is why it hasn't raised that much. I mean, it's raised a decent amount, though. Honestly, yeah, it seems okay. This is one where you'd really want to watch a bunch of examples and playthroughs and see what the narrative is. As far as the actual gameplay of it, I mean, it seems like it will be interesting, but it doesn't seem like it's worth this price point, to me personally. But if you're interested in that, the finish is on the 28th at 12 p.m. Let's move along to Santorini. Santorini, the Co-op and Deluxe Pantheon Edition, which has raised over $1 million Canadian. That's right. I'm excited about Santorini. I did a review on Santorini. I think base Santorini is so good. I think this co-op expansion is a solo expansion. I do think the setup of this Riddle of the Sphinx seems neat, but for me, like, it was just not interesting enough. I also was really excited about the upgrade, but it's still $66 Canadian to upgrade when you bring your own plastic versus $88 Canadian for the Pantheon edition. Oh, it is $88 Canadian, isn't it? For a game that's like I could get for 30. Oh, it's really pushing my budget consciousness. I'll tell you that for free. Or for $88 Canadian because I'm interested in it. Here's the Pantheon edition. 65 US, 88 Canadian. Why you need an oversized ocean board, I don't know. Why you need this 3D island frame, I've never had an issue with the everything moving around. But it gives it its grandeur, right? Basically, you're just getting a bunch of trays to hold your pieces. And the updated gods. I really like this, though. For this new edition of Santorini, we redetermined the best base gods, revamped some gods that were less fun. We've also added a brand new gods, moved some of the more complex one into 4 expansion packs, which you're going to be getting as like these additional card packs. I feel like that's a weird call, honestly, that they're in these little card packs. Like, I don't quite know how they're going to sell them later on. It's only 16 cards, just friggin' throw them in there. Rulebook, halfway down the page, but you do not need it. Santorini is so easy to learn. They say remastered tower pieces. These kind of look like the same ones to me, but maybe I haven't played Santorini in a while. And then the Riddle of the Sphinx, 49 US. That's expensive for what it is, honestly. Like, in no world do you need to get the Pantheon edition and the Riddle of the Sphinx for 109 US. I mean, I get it. It's a gorgeous copy, and I love Santorini, but it's too expensive for what you're getting. And if you're treating yourself to this new edition of Santorini, the base game is fine. These synthetic cards do look cool, though. For an extra $9, yeah, that seems like the choice. And then you can really just play Santorini in a bathtub full of milk as the gods intended you to do. 4 new gods, different sculpts, bridge miniatures, yeah. Discounted price, back down to get the best price. We're also offering a 20% discount each time you purchase a second copy of Pantheon. Can you purchase more than a second copy? All right, shipping, $9 or $14 to Canada. So you're paying $100 for Santorini. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Riddle of the Sphinx is the way to get to experience Santorini because I think Santorini is at best a competitive game. That's why my video review isn't up on the campaign page, because I wasn't super hot on it. Because I think it felt like a solo game. I get it if you like Rush Hour. Watch the review, you know what I mean. Base Santorini holds a really special place in my heart. I've wanted it for a long time. I was very excited about this new reprint coming out. I'm trying to figure out if I can justify it at this price point. So it's at 53 Canadian right now. That makes me feel a little bit better about it. That does make me feel a little bit better about it. Yeah, so it's 40 at 401 Games. Board Game Bliss, you really dropped the ball on that pricing. 40 Canadian, right? That's kind of what I was expecting. After tax, it's like 45, 48. So that's what we have to think in our heads going in there. For me, I wanted to get it secondhand for like 25, right? Because I'm cheap. And I saw it once at that price, and then therefore that became the price in my mind. That's how I work. And here it's $88. So you're looking at plus shipping, so it's $100. So that's kind of incorporates tax though. So it's a double the price. You're paying double the price for a deluxe edition that's in print because it hasn't been in print for a while, because that was Spin Master and this is Roxley who's taking it over, which is great. I like Roxley as a company, so you got to factor that in. And if this will be the game moving forward and this is what they're going to sell it at, it's a tough sell though. It's like $100 Canadian. It's like $80 US for a game that used to be half that, right? And even with the lovely storage upgrades, I never need those storage upgrades in my games because I just make them on the cheap in a similar fashion, right? I don't need this grid personally. So it's again that conversation of, are these extras something that you personally need and want to pay for? I don't know. I would probably do it like, I'll already tell you, this is going to be the pick for me, unless something else blows me out of the water, but maybe that's why it's picked for me, not picked for you. Anyway, Santorini is a great game. You should check it out. Until you play it, I don't think it does it justice, and yeah, Riddle of the Sphinx wasn't for me. Santorini Pantheon Edition, absolutely for me. So that finishes Friday, April 28th at 2 p.m. That's tough. I love those additional gods. It's like, oh, you get some more gods and some more gods, but like realistically, you're going to get those in the game anyway. Although apparently not. They're in expansion packs now, and it might be 20% more. I just don't see this game being sold at that price at retail and having it fly off the shelves. I don't see that because it's just an abstract game and because it plays so quickly, right? I think you have to factor that in. So there's probably going to be a cheaper version and not a deluxeified Kickstarter version that will be coming down the line in retail, that honestly it might be the better choice to get. But if you like Santorini, it's going to be a nice addition, and I like Santorini, so who knows. Anyway, let's move on to the Prisoner's Trilemma. No, we're not. Why'd you pick this? I think I thought I could come up with a joke here, and then I realized that I've never come up with a joke in my entire life. This is actually interesting to me, though. I thought it was going to be dumb, but it's literally just prisoner trilemmas. So instead of the prisoner's dilemma, which is you're arrested, there's this little thing here is explaining it. You're arrested, you can choose to betray the other person or cooperate. If you betray the other person and they decide to cooperate with you, this is the negotiate and attack cards in Cosmic Encounter. You get all the spoils by betraying the other person. They get the whole punishment. If you both choose to cooperate, you get a less punishment. And if you both choose to betray, you both get the full punishment. And so you want the other person to cooperate, and then you want to betray, right? That's basically how it works. But in this, the Prisoner's Trilemma, they added a new one. You can compromise. You can get your lawyer to work out a deal, which might be a little bit better than the original, and you kind of just remove yourself from the situation altogether. And so all this is just a bunch of trilemmas to consider. You say which one you're going to do, you flip it up, you resolve it, person gets the most points wins. That seems interesting to me. I mean, as a thought experiment, I'm not interested in getting a physical copy of this ever, but for $5 you kind of get that print and play, although it just says the rules. It's a bit confusing. Still, a lovely thing that a lot of game theory is based upon, and that Modern Survivor from seasons 41 up until now has really grabbed and run with. Let's move on to the best campaign this week. Weasels are illegal! A raucous, rollicking role-playing game for 3 to 5 players about a pack of weasels in a trench coat pretending to be human. I mean, I literally didn't know that it was also incorporating one of my favorite bits, which is multiple people in a trench coat pretending to be human. That's what I do basically every day on my day off, if I ever had those. But this one, I mean, I clearly clicked on it for this zoomed-in picture of this weasel that's by this baby carriage. She's shouting, "Weasels are illegal! Get out of here, weasels! It's the law!" It's just so stupid. Weasels Are Illegal, a collaborative storytelling game for 3 to 5 players about a pack of weasel geniuses who are hiding in a trench coat and a fedora while trying to make their way undetected through a human city where they are strictly out of bounds. It's an easy game to pick up and play for a wide range of ages and role-playing experience levels, designed to be exhilarating and wild while moving quickly through multiple locations while changing tasks based on the location, as well as each weasel's rotating position in the trench coat. Because of course, you all have to have a turn seeing out the top and pretending to be human and wearing the fake mustache. Of course you do. I don't want to be the legs forever. I don't want to be the human hand, the definitely human hand that keeps grabbing those hot dogs and eating them with my hand like a normal human would do. You will select one of 5 Weasel Genius characters, each with their own forte, something they're particularly skilled at doing, just in case language wasn't your forte. And Folly, something they just can't resist getting distracted by. Hot dogs. It's half-eaten hot dogs that my hand keeps eating and pulling from the side of my trench coat. That's it. That's all. Honestly, that's all you need. That really is all you need. $12 for a print and play. I mean, this is one of my very first game designs, and I've been refining and rewriting it for the last several years. Oh, here's more of a zoomed-in picture. Where's this whole picture? It's got to be in the updates, right? The trench coat. Oh, this is so stupid. The geniuses. The ferret. I just love the caps in the title, too. Weasels are illegal! Where's the full picture? Here's the other half of the picture down here. I just want to see it. Yeah, I want to keep clicking on it. I want to see more of these weasels definitely stealing or poking out and scaring that baby. Oh, $12 for the printed play. $12 well spent on whoever gets this. Let's keep going. Moving along to Fractured Sky, which I definitely have only ever called Fractured Sky and not Fractured Skies, as I did the entire review of it. Fractured Sky hasn't crossed 1 million yet in US, has crossed 1 million Canadian. This game is solid. I have a review on this, so I'm not going to cover this in too much detail. We'll cover what you get, though. The retail edition is $49 or 66 Canadian. And then the deluxe edition is $129 or 173 Canadian. This feels like it's more expansion. Oh, of course, that's not all. There's the super deluxe edition. Oh, look at that. They included me. My seal of distinction. Yeah, Veiled Fate does have a seal of distinction. That's very true. Veiled Fate is an awesome game that provides great above-the-table interaction, and Fractured Sky is similar. It's a really fantastic game. It's another banger, I agree. Again, if you like that above-the-table interaction, if you have a group who can get on board with that, that's great. The basics of these games are very simple, and it requires you to buy into them in order to appreciate them to their full extent. And then I can say that, and then if anybody takes that and doesn't like them, well, I can just say, well, you weren't appreciating them to its fullest extent. You should join my game night group instead. Outline of Fractured Sky, if you didn't see my review, there's going to be this big old map. And on your turn, you can put your spaceships, your starships out there, and they're going to cover up a number. That's their strength. Nobody knows what strength you put out except for you. You put it out there and you're like, haha, this is a big number, and it's a 0. You can put 3 ships out there. Their total strength must total to 10. And then in addition, your 1s and your 10s look the same and look a little bit distinct. So people know if you put that 10 out there, or maybe it's a 1. However, you don't know where there are points. So you're potentially just getting resources, or you're getting points. These will be face down, and you have to spend resources to take a peek at them, and then give a little bit of information. You get a resource back, and that indicates to people what it might be, because you see it's one of the resources, and it's on the board. So people are trying to guess where you're going, and read your ships, and read where you're putting them out. And there's a double bluff wine in front of me keep going on. As well as building up these little side buildings to help either your production or your military strength as you seek for these starfall. Another quote from Tom Vassell on a Kickstarter campaign. I thought he doesn't do those. That's weird. Yeah, temporary advantages versus permanent benefits. You can check to see where the points are going to be, or you can invest in your future. That's cool. They've got like a internet scavenger hunt going on to unlock art prints and then money off the metal starfalls. That's kind of neat. But yeah, so the retail edition just has little chits. That's all it is. It's little chits that you put face down. The deluxe edition, which goes up $70 in cost, $80? $80 in cost. $80 more dollars from the retail edition. You get these magnetic airships, which are friggin' cool. They are. But they're $80 more for little magnets that you put out on the board, and like little 3D printed, well, little plastic ships, and like a deluxeified dual layer player mat. And maybe the neoprene mat? I don't know. I was playing on that. Download the rulebook. Amazing rulebook. Up a third of the way down the page. That's great. Here's the super deluxe tier. These painted minis. If you're not going to paint them yourself, 90 minis painted. Really all you should care about are the ships. Still pretty cool. That's clearly a riddle that you can solve. Cool campaign page. Here's the deluxe edition contents. It looks quite nice. Oh no, it's just a board. It's not a neoprene mat. I guess that's an add-on. It's all cards and cardboard. Really nice cards and cardboard. And that's true, and that's why it's $49 instead of $39. That's why the retail edition is still $50 or $66 Canadian, which is more than it would cost me for Wingspan. But hey, it's really nice cardboard, right? What's their shipping again? Oh yeah, here's their shipping. Now it's a flat cost. It's a flat rate. So that should mean, if I'm correct in this, which means that the more you purchase, the more we subsidize. AKA, you want to get on a group buy for this. You do, because $16, it's not that good, especially not for retail. That's a horrible, horrible decision. But if you can get 16 people, well, then there you go. You don't have to pay for shipping, right? This game is great. It really is great, but like Ivy Studios' other titles, it's in that higher price point. Even the retail edition, oh, I wish it was $39. I just wish it was $39 because all it is cardboard chits. I mean, that's all it is. It's like a small deck of cards that's like this big, maybe even less than 54, because it's 54 cards in a card sheet. That's the printing process for a lot of printers. I don't know what printer they're specifically using. And then it's cardboard tokens, and then it's some player screens. Nice player screens that don't fall down, which is very important for the gameplay when you're putting things face down and bluffing people, but still just player screens, right? That being said, I like living in the past, and I like thinking about how cheap it is to produce things on an enormous scale and comparing things to that. The thing is, you don't need to get the deluxe version to experience the fun of this game. Because I played the deluxe edition first, and then I came home with a retail copy. I was sad, I was disappointed I didn't have the cool magnets when I started playing the retail edition. And then I got sucked into the gameplay, and I realized, oh yeah, you don't need this bling. It's super fun, of course it is, but it's completely unnecessary. And if you want just like a really nice, tense bidding and bluffing game, yeah, retail edition is a cool thing, and I like that it exists. I really do like that it exists, and I really like that there is such a discrepancy between that and the deluxe edition. I heard they were trying to make it as cheap as possible, and that's because all of their games are handcrafted by a monk living at the top of a mountain. That's why it still has to have that, $49 price point. But at least it's as cheap as possible, right? Wow. Everybody's going for the painted minis, eh? The most people are on that super deluxe tier with the painted minis, which I get. They look pretty cool. They really do. I don't know. I like this one a lot. I think this one is absolutely worth checking out. Check out my review because that talks more in detail about the gameplay. And I think the retail is definitely something people should consider. If you like that, again, above the table interaction and bidding and bluffing, this one's a cool one. That finishes Monday, May 1st at 9 p.m. Moving along, just quickly, for those who really love the Santorini joint base, well, here we have a Terraforming Mars tile joint base. If you found that your Terraforming Mars tiles were sliding all over the place and you don't have a super deluxe copy, well, this thing exists. It feels like it's way too expensive for what it is, but if that's an idea that you want to do, you can probably figure that out in the 3D printer. Terraforming Mars is fun. And then finally, also not a board game, CharCon 2023. This also finishes Tuesday, May 2nd. It's the West Virginia gaming convention, the 16th year. I like highlighting local conventions. I was just talking about 46 backers raising $62,000. Oh yeah, because there's the hotel tiers built in here. That makes sense. Wait, it wasn't $62,000. It was $6,200. That makes a little bit more sense. This is cool if you live in Charlotteston, West Virginia, or close to it. Friday, July 14th to Sunday, July 16th, there's a little fun gaming convention that you can potentially check out. Some things to look forward to. Lots of fun. Our theme is time travel. Done. My theme is an hour of TV or an hour of napping. Also a good theme. 100 play-to-win games, though. Play-to-win games are great. And this also actually made me take note. $40 for the weekend admission. 54 Canadian. That's cheap for a weekend convention. The fact that there was this person there at one point in time makes me interested in attending. So yeah, I just give it a shout out. I love gaming conventions where the focus is on the gaming, and that's a really good price for it as well. If you want something where you can win $25,000, well, hey, you should check out the World Series of Board Gaming. Tickets are available. It's a great convention as well. $150 for the lowest tier over there. So either or, depending where you are, or go to both. Come see me at World Series. Do it. Am I a shill? Yes. Do you love it? Also, yes. That's why they call me Nasty Chris. That's it. That's it for the week. Yeah, pretty much what I expected this week. And my pick for me and my pick for you has not changed. Perhaps you can guess what it is. Surprise, it's the ones that I've covered. Pick for me is the thing that I am the most interested in. The pick for you is the thing that I would recommend for you and what I feel will deliver on its promise. And the pick for me is going to be base Santorini, not Riddle of the Sphinx, but just the base Santorini. Oh, this is still tough. I don't know. Because I think I'm getting a copy. I think I'm getting a copy for doing a review. That is sort of the exchange. But I need to set that aside and think if I wasn't getting a copy, would I back this right now? And I think I would. I really think I would. I think it's not the sensible back, to be clear, but that's why it's the pick for me, because the thing that I want the most, and I think I would just really enjoy having it. So yeah, that's my pick for me. Base Santorini is so good. The competitive version, again, not the Riddle of the Sphinx. And then the pick for you is absolutely going to be Fractured Sky. I think it was really fun. I'd say I enjoyed my play of this more than I enjoyed my play of Zombicide. Absolutely, hands down, no question. I think Ivy Studios does great stuff. I'm really impressed with this game. I'm very excited for my friend Reed to get Moonrakers in so that he and I can play that. I think that's going to be great because he got everything Moonrakers. And then the only other Ivy Studios I want to try is actually the thing that reminds me of Santorini, which is Mythic Mischief. I think Ivy Studios has been putting out some great stuff, and they've established themselves at this point as somebody to take note of when they drop a new title. And I think this is that. I would recommend the retail. I would. If money's no object, you're going to get the deluxe. I know. But the retail, if you can get in on a group buy, look for that group buy. I mean, for me in Canada, though, it's 49 US and then like 28 in shipping, right? I think it was 28. Something ridiculous like that. Ah, there's me. Look at that. Do we like that thumbnail? I think I thought it was better before. I'm getting distracted. And now I'm getting even more distracted by that handsome face. Yeah, 28 for Canada. Cost included per extra copy to the same destination, max 4. Okay. I didn't see that the first time. So $7 shipping. Yeah, it's fine. Still, okay. Still, it's like $70 for just like a few cardboard chits. From a component standpoint, absolutely not worth it. It makes me, it's offensive how much it really is when you factor in the shipping to Canada. US would be 53 US. Again, I would prefer it would be cheaper, but I understand people have to make a living. That's fine. The game is good. The game is very fun. And yeah, I think that retail is something you really should take note of. I really do. I think they deserve to be. I just wish I wish it was 39 Ivy Studios. Why couldn't it have been 39? Oh, I wish it was 39. But I get it. Even still, this is absolutely my pick for you. I think it's a fun game. I said in my review that I liked Veiled Fate more. I think that holds true. Veiled Fate is super fun. Production quality in this might make you play it more than Veiled Fate, though, if you got it at the deluxe. I don't know. I'm all over the place with this. I don't want to push the deluxe, but I love magnets. We're going to stop it here. Get this off of my screen. Yeah, Fractured Sky, absolutely pick for you. Santorini, absolutely pick for me. No brainer, Santorini was one that I was excited about since the beginning of the year, since I heard about it, since somebody leaked it somewhere that it was coming out. I don't know who that would have been, but I bet they're handsome and have a fun Monday show. But before we go, we have a giveaway to attend to, so let's cut to editing Chris right now to give away a copy of Nova Roma. It wasn't the pick for me, it wasn't the pick for you, but you know what? It's the pick for my patron, and that matters even more because it's being given away. Honestly, looks really good. It's just the other two kind of edge it out. In any other week, probably would end up being a pick for me or a pick for you, for sure. So let's go to editing Chris to give you other slouches a little bit more time to enter, and we will announce the winner right now. We're recording the entire screen. I have the YouTube loaded up here. The random user has been almost chosen. There are 274 comments, so you have a 1 out of 274 chance of winning yourself a copy of Nova Roma, thanks to one of my incredible patrons. Woo! I'm excited. Yeah, Nova Roma does look good. I really love that action selection system, and one of you is going to love it when it arrives on your door, and that person is going to be, let's see, Matthew Thiessen. Interesting looking game that covers an oft neglected portion of Roman history. Will players be wise and good emperors, or follow the path of wicked despots? Matthew got the key word in there, which of course was wicked. Matthew is the wickedest, baddest person of them all. Congratulations, Matthew. You have just won a copy. Get in touch with me. You can send me an email. Contact me down below. Email is in the description, and we will get that all set up for you. And if you missed out on this giveaway, don't worry, because I like giving away stuff. I do. And I'm going to have more for you because I like you all and I care about you. Now back to better looking, better lighting Chris. Thanks so much for watching. Congratulations again, Matthew. Let's get in touch. Wow! Congratulations to that person. You sound like you really deserved it. Anyway, let me know what you're backing, what you're not. I'm always interested in hearing about it. Yeah, let me know every single title that you are not backing. Let me know. I need to know. I need you to write them all down in the comments. Write them. Write them down there. Like and subscribe. Write them. I don't even know anymore. Thanks for being here. I just like hanging out with you. I'll see you next week. Remember, my name's Chris George, and I do not have a catchphrase, but I do have a poem to finish us off. The clown flounding clown. Paul Blart Clown Trown. Oh, greetings, dear souls. Welcome to the show. Farewell to the show, I guess, if I'm going to change it. Where clowns abound and laughter's aglow. Clowning with grace and spite. We delve into the world of board games tonight. Chris George from Room and Board is here to assist with his crowdfunding countdown. No detail is missed. He reviews the latest Kickstarters with skill. Using an abacus, his calculations never spill. But beware of Slippery Jim, our sly friend, a little creepier than we'd care to comprehend. With a grin that's too wide and eyes too bright, he slithers in shadows, lurking in sight. Through the labyrinth of board games we'll go. With Jim by our side, we'll never know what twisted thoughts brew in his mind, or what horrid secrets he's designed. So let's enjoy this clowning affair, and pray that Jim's intentions are fair, for board games bring us together in the end, and with clowns like us, it's always a win. Win. It's always a win. Win. Thanks for being here. Thanks for that. Shout out to Laser Ninja for that poem. Is this going to be a new thing? I don't know. Keep writing poems in the comments, and it might be. I'll see you in the next one.